Hello and welcome to Long Beach Lens. I'm your host, Derek J. Simpson, Executive Director of the Long Beach Community Action Partnership. We have a very special and informative guest in the studio today. She's someone who's returning. She is a fit chef, celebrity food and fitness expert, and we'll soon find out a dating expert, Katy Clark. Welcome, Katy.
Thank you. Thank you for having me back.
Absolutely.
We were just getting into it last time when we had to kind of end that.
Yeah. Well, let's pick it up where we left off, because you had me on the edge of my seat because we're on a subject that I seem to hit and miss on. So, and maybe there's others out there who can learn. So
there are many others.
We were talking about the whole matchmaking and the whole online dating scene, or just dating period.
Right.
And you have so much information. But let's start out where we left off, and then I want to make sure people know a little bit more about you as well.
Okay, great. So we were talking about matchmakers before, and I do work for a matchmaking company. I'm actually the dating coach of Sync Matchmaking. And it's this idea of, why would somebody use a matchmaker? And I talked about how I'm a relationship recruiter. I'm out and about every day. I meet singles everywhere I go, and I find out like what they like, their interests, and so I put them in my back pocket. I mean, we also have a database where we put all of our clients, and matchmakers help matchmakers. So we've got this giant database of people that you're never going to meet. Even if you're swiping, you'll never know as many women as I know. But the idea is just that I'm out there recruiting for you, just like any professional recruiter, and it's kind of like a realtor, I always tell people. So you've got this option. You're looking to buy a house. Do you drive around all day looking for a house, look through the newspaper ads? No. You hire someone who knows the area, knows what you're looking for, can vet it down, and bring you exactly what you want.
Now, here, being frank with you, we serve people who are low income and people who don't have those resources. So before we go in more into what you are doing, what would you say to that person like, oh, I'm turning it off, she's talking about money, I don't have it. What would you say to someone who's really out there looking and just don't have that cash to come up with that strategy that you have?
Well, actually, to be in a database is typically free.
Okay.
So I like to tell people it's gonna be diversifying your portfolio. I would never recommend to a client to just trust their matchmaker to find the perfect match.
Okay.
What I would tell a client is go ahead and use some of the free apps. Use some that are just, the online websites are a little bit more costly. And then get in the database of a matchmaker. The idea is that you're perfecting your dating routine. You're getting better at it. You're having more opportunities to meet people. So many people like yourself, you work, then you go to events, and you're not really there to meet and find a woman, because you have to, keep that line safe. And many people like teachers, they're with women all day. Police officers, they're with men all day. So you've got to start, making your egg basket bigger and really, getting that diversified portfolio so you get a better return on your investment.
So before you got into this business, you were considered one of the top fitness experts in the nation. You were a restaurateur in China. Tell me, and those who are watching, about the bridge that you found between the world of fitness and the world of dating.
So I've always loved to exercise. I probably had ADD as a kid, where back then we didn't know about it.
Right, exactly.
Because it always did me good. There's nothing negative that comes out of exercise, injuries per se, but, and it was always free. I was always a runner. I always went to the YMCA, rollerbladed, things like that weren't that expensive. So when I got single, I noticed that I still was always interested in fitness, and I had done some fitness shows. I ran the Long Beach Marathon. I did the Boston. I always use my free time. I always spend at least an hour a day, which is only 4% of your day, by the way. I'd use an hour a day for me, to treat me good, because healthy always loves you back. And when I take good care of me, it shows myself and it shows others that I value myself. And then when I started dating, I felt like it translated to the men that I dated, the people that I was with, that, wow, she takes good care of herself. That means something. That means that I value me, I take extra special time for me, and that you should as well.
Yeah, and the fitness chef element of this really, for me, when I heard you say that in the first show, it sort of showed that there is a balance, not only in your exercise routine, but also there's the natural balance between eating nutritiously and working out, and you really feel that that's important as well.
So as Fit Chef Katy, I love food as much as I love fitness. They're equal. And when I was on Food Network, they said to me, well, Katy, you don't love food enough. I said, well, you're never going to take the fitness out of me. So if you're going to vote me off, at least I got voted off for something that I love and passionate about. And there just comes a point where for 80% of the time I try to eat as healthy as I can, as much as I can. So when I do go grocery shopping, I'm making those decisions and I'm choosing healthy for myself. Now, when I go out, I'm going to pick a nicer restaurant. I'm going to pick something that's a little bit more health conscious or even chef conscious, because I've found that when I go to chain restaurants, it's just more focused on getting food out. Right. When I go to restaurants that are small business owned, that they're chefs who love what they do, there's a heart behind the food. And as somebody who's dating, what do you normally do on a date? You go out to eat. Yeah. So I have this deep, passionate interest in food, and not just food, but chefs and the story and how food gets there. And I get excited about salt. I mean, I went to Mozza the other day, and they had Maldon sea salt all over this perfectly crusted bread. And I mean, I get excited about that. And I found that on dates, guys would be excited that I'm excited. They found that I appreciated it. Right. And I always appreciate great food. So I think it is that fine line of valuing yourself and saying, you know what, I don't need another drive-through burger. Right. I'm going to go choose healthier for myself. And healthier, better, just more, anything that has more love put into it.
And that transcends socioeconomic lines. You don't have to have a lot of money or a little money. I mean, it's just a way of life. Right,
and you can cook it yourself. You can go to the farmers markets. Long Beach has tons of great farmers markets. Buy a couple vegetables and just build a beautiful green salad. I mean, we eat with our eyes first. So keep that in mind. I mean,
explain that.
It's a sexy thing when you see this beautiful, colorful plate and the height and the depth of it, and then you put it in your mouth and you, like one of my favorite things is a very simple salad. And I teach it a lot when I do corporate things and then when I teach kids. And it's a beautiful spinach salad with some blackberries in there, a couple cubes of goat cheese, some soft, yummy goat cheese, some sliced almonds for crunch and health. And then I put some chicken or shrimp in that, and it is beautiful. It's green. It's the blackberries burst in your mouth. The goat cheese is kind of creamy and warm, and then the almonds are crunchy. I mean, there's this like sensuality to food, but it doesn't always have to be expensive. It just has to be beautiful because you deserve it.
I will never look at salad again.
There you go. Good. I've made an impact.
Bring on the goat cheese. So you were married. And you were Mrs. Long Beach. Tell us about that experience.
I was. In 2011, we had been back from China. I lived there for 6 years with my kids and my ex-husband. And we were living in Belmont Shore. I was participating in a lot of things that were going on in Long Beach, the beach cleanups with Justin Rudd, things like that. And I born and raised in Long Beach, so I love my city. And it's such a great place. It's eclectic, full of all different kinds of people. And a friend of mine, the week before the beauty pageant, said, you should run for Mrs. Long Beach. Now, I'm an athlete. This girl's a runner, never done a beauty pageant. I ran over to TJ Maxx, got a $40 dress, got a good spray tan. And honestly, the first beauty pageant I did, I saw girls putting fake hair in, things I had never seen before. And I was in a back corner preparing, and I was kind of laughing because I thought, I have no idea what's going on here. But what I love about Long Beach, too, is that they're looking for real people that have real passions. And at that time, I really, as Fit Chef Katy, wanted to encourage people to educate and motivate them to get healthy. And then the fun part of that is I actually did it with my daughter. So she and I both ran. She was the very first Little Miss Long Beach.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a blessing and an honor to be able to say that.
Yeah, and talking about your Long Beach, but Justin is from Dothan, Alabama, and
Okay.
I'm from Mobile, Alabama.
Ah, that's why we like you guys.
Yeah, well, he loves Auburn. I love Alabama, so we kind of have our little banter, but he is an amazing guy.
Amazing.
He does such great work in the city of Long
He really
Beach,
does.
so congratulations on you being a part of things that he's been
Thank
involved
you.
with. I mean, so much that you've done, from China to a fitness expert to a fitness chef to now being in this whole matchmaking game. And back to that, we were talking before the show that there's online dating and there's just dating, but matchmaker is a term that you were using. So can you begin to share what that's about and how that transcends to the online world?
So again, there's multiple avenues right now to meet people.
Right.
The beauty of having a matchmaker, and sometimes you hire a matchmaker, sometimes you work with a matchmaker like me who's also a dating coach, and then also sometimes you're just in the database, you're gonna have a process that's vetted out. Okay. So we do all the work for you. And literally sometimes our clients just show up at 7 o'clock at a restaurant, they don't even have to make the reservation. But it's just this idea that we already know the person, we can vouch for them. Do you remember back in the day when Grandma Bessie would say, "Sweetheart, I know a nice young man down the street for you"?
Yeah.
Sadly, people are afraid to do that nowadays because there's that, oh, well, what if they don't like him and what if he's weird? And everyone's nervous about that part, but we do that. We do amazing introductions of amazing people. I always think you attract what you are. And the girls that I work with, there's 3 of us in sync, they are phenomenal, go-getter, hardworking women, and we attract women like that. And then the men that we work with, and we work with both. I have 2 female clients right now that I'm looking for great, amazing men for them. I mean, these people are hardworking. Yeah. What did I just see that? Wink, wink.
Just sat up straight.
They're just hardworking. There comes a point where they're smart enough to delegate. You know, it's a lot of time when you're swiping and texting, and I've got a couple of rules about that whole online and dating.
So we have 2 minutes before we go to our first break.
Okay.
And you talked about do's and don'ts.
Right.
Can you get through those in 2 minutes?
All right. Well,
We can try and we can come back after.
Let's talk about the do's. Okay, so if
let's
you're
do the
online
do's.
and you're putting photos and you're doing bios, make sure you do put a great photo of just you on your photos. Okay,
Not the dog or not a scene of the beach.
Not for the
or
first
all
one.
that.
The dog
Okay.
actually is a popular one.
Oh, okay.
But do make sure there are not other people who are better looking than you in your photo, okay? And do make sure to talk about yourself first. A lot of people in their bio will say, well, I'm looking for.
Okay.
Okay, well, time out. How about just tell me about you? And do be fun.
Okay.
This is a process nowadays. It's like job interviewing in a sense.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you're not memorable, you have to be memorable in this dating market so that you can have the upper hand.
But that's easy for you to say. How does one become memorable? By what you just said, or is there some other secret sauce that we are leaving out?
Secret sauce. See, that was memorable. That would be cute and
Okay.
make me laugh. Again, it's just,
Gotta write that
have
one
people
down.
reread it, have people walk it through with you, even friends. Say, tell me one funny thing about me, and put it in there. Fun is a very good thing right now to be when you're out there dating.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much stress in life. In all seriousness, as I
Right.
say this, I mean, on the job, maybe family, just working things out. Having fun is important. I'm having fun with this interview, but we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will share more of the do's and don'ts and other tips that Katy may have for us. So stay tuned right here for more of Long Beach Lens.
Are you tired of the run-of-the-mill duties at your internship? Getting coffee, making copies, getting prescriptions for people you don't even know? Well, not at PadNet. We're making things happen. We're getting footage. We're making PSAs. We're getting interviews with people you're gonna know.
But I don't know how to do these things.
No problem. We have workshops, equipment, hardware, software, underwear, all for you to learn and absorb. Check us out at padnet.tv for more information.
Each year, 7.5 million students nationwide miss nearly a month of school due to excused and unexcused absences. In the Long Beach Unified School District, 10% of students, including almost 11% of kindergartners, are chronically absent. The All-In Attendance Campaign is a long-term, citywide approach to encourage students to attend school every second of every period, every day. With the help of parents, teachers, and the community at large, we can turn attendance around. Are you all in?
Life is a series of unfortunate events. Your boss throws a coffee cup at you, your partner breaks up with you, your car gets damaged by a pothole, your landlord ambushes you, your credit card maxes out, your car insurance expires, your stomach is rumbling because of all the food in the fridge has gone stale. It takes a lifetime to figure out your life, but it only takes one day to figure out how to use a DSLR. Take a break from the unfortunate events.
Welcome back to Long Beach Lens. I'm Derek J. Simpson, And with me is Fit Chef Katy, celebrity food and fitness chef. No, she's not a chef with that, but she's cooking up some recipes for dating, that's for sure. And she's a matchmaker expert, and she's going to talk more about that. Katy, we left off on the do's, but let's talk about the don'ts.
Right, and we call them the oh no, don't do
Oh
that.
no,
Oh no,
don'ts.
do not do that. So we're talking about online dating, profiles, photos. How many times do you see the selfie? We're all adults here.
Yes.
We all can ask our child, our friend, our parent, our neighbor to take a photo of us.
Okay.
It's awkward and it's weird, but you need a photo of just you. Professional photos are okay, but something that's a little bit fun and light of just you. Again, we don't want to be putting other people in because if I'm swiping and I'm looking, I might think that guy's cuter than you are.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. So, oh no, please no more selfies. Number
Okay.
2, oh no, please no more selfies in the bathroom with the shirt off. Just done. And please no more selfies with big lips and duck lips.
Okay.
Those are just not to be done anymore. And I think in this world of online dating, I think there's way too many options nowadays, so it's disposable dating, that you really need to hone in on your profile and make it fabulous and memorable, we talked about.
You talked about curb appeal.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so as a dating coach, one of the things I do talk about is your curb appeal, and we'll talk about in a little bit how you and I met.
Okay.
What we wear
Do we
is
have
so
to tell
important.
them everything about how we met?
Yeah, well, the details.
Okay.
What we wear is so important because it is a first impression, but I like to
Right.
explain it to people like this because I did meet a lady once who's like, well, shouldn't he like me for my insides? Well, of course he should, but the first thing he sees is your outside.
It's the wrappings, yeah.
Right, and I always tell people, okay, so you're back on the market, just like a house. The house is back on the market. There's 2 houses to choose from. You've got the one that does not have any upgrades, updates, and could use a little help. Or you've got the one where someone put a little extra time and effort in, and they painted it, they planted some new flowers, they went out and did what needed to be done to make it fresh and new. And so a lot of us need to update our wardrobes. You should have a dating wardrobe. It shouldn't be your church wardrobe, your Saturday soccer morning wardrobe, and it shouldn't be your work wardrobe.
Okay.
You need a dating wardrobe. And things like that will make it so when you're out and about, not only will you look great, but you'll feel great. You will feel confident that you are looking and doing your best.
Okay, and then you also talked about the 4 must-haves.
So I believe 2 different things for men, but these are the 4 must-haves that men are looking for in women. The number one, and it's kind of old school, new school. All
I
right.
got my pen.
All right, ready for our note taking. The first thing that men are looking for, hands down, and you brushed on it a little bit earlier, is fun.
Yeah.
Women need to be fun. Our market is people that are 35 and up. They're post-divorce, they've yet to be married, they've already established themselves, they're busy with their career. So when they're going out on a date, they're looking for somebody that's fun, that's not heavy-hearted. But not only just fun, men are also looking for women that are feisty. So men like to share time, they like banter, and they like to tease each other. That's how men connect. So women need to have a little bit of that feist in them. The number 2 thing they're looking for is a woman who's independent. Now, that's normal nowadays. A lot of women are very independent, but they're not looking for just independent women. She also has to be inspiring to him. So there's lots of women who have jobs and can hold the fort down, but does she love what she does? Because if she does, it inspires him to be a better man. The number 3 thing is not only your IQ, but your EQ. So that's your emotional intelligence. You might be smart, but do you know how to work with him and his emotions? At this age and stage in the game, we women should be able to know that you are not our best girlfriend. You are different, and to treat you differently with emotions. And then the last thing that men are looking for is sexy. But not just sexy, women that are savvy with their sexy. So in our age range that we work with, I'm often seeing, the women that are trying too hard, too tight, too big, too done. And men aren't looking for that, believe it or not. The good men aren't.
Right.
And what they're looking for is a woman who's just sexy enough, and she's smart with it. She's not giving it away on the first date. She's holding it back.
Okay.
And there's so many ways to be sexy, and really confidence is a huge thing that is sexy to men. So that's what men, I believe, are looking for.
And naturally, we got to go to the 4 focuses.
The 4
You use a
focuses on
different
women.
term for
I
women.
do, because I feel like
Okay.
women get swept away.
Okay.
Often, they go for the bad boy, and then they're like, oh, he broke my heart. Well, sweetheart, you need to focus. And a lot of us are just busy single moms or busy with work, and so you really need to make smart choices when you're picking who you're going to spend your time with. So the number 1 thing women are looking for is effort.
Effort?
Effort. You need to find a man who is putting in the best effort to get your time. So from that first initial meeting, is he checking in on you? Is he asking you? Is he asking you out? What are all these guys spending 2 weeks texting us for? No, That's not effort, that's lazy. So we're looking for men to give us effort. The number 2 thing I think we're also looking for is fun and funny. Life is hard. The older we get, the busier we are. We have kids, responsibilities. We want to laugh. So be a little bit fun and funny. The number 3 thing that I think women need to focus on is reality. Now, this is true, especially living where we live in Southern California. I mean, do I really want to deal with traffic? Do I want to sit in traffic to date a man? Can I move? Can he move? I mean, we need to be smart about choosing who we are really going to spend our time with. And then the last thing that women should focus on is chemistry. Because there's a lot of guys that you start to date them and there may not be great chemistry, but as you get to know them as a man, ooh, that can really build. So.
Now, I've been waiting for this question since the first time we met, because the last show before you came on, all the crew asked me what socks was I going to wear. And I said, I don't know, polka dots. And so everybody showed up, for the most part, was polka dots something on.
Okay.
Because I wear boring suits, I say, and so to have cool socks, I thought was just a fun thing to do on wide shots, as you can see. You say that what men's socks tell you about him is something important.
Absolutely.
So I'm all ears.
And this is truly how we met, because on Facebook, someone posted a picture of you.
They did.
Because I had mentioned this theory that I have, and they've said, look at this guy's crazy socks.
Yeah.
And I was like, those are awesome.
That was actually the polka dot show.
They were adorable. And so I have this theory, and excuse the crassness of it, but I truly believe that when a man wears boring and practical socks, he's probably boring and practical. That's fine. But when a man steps up his game, he wears fun socks and puts that little extra effort again, it's like that curb appeal. It tells me that he's fun and exciting. Now, same is true for women and the undergarments that they wear.
Okay.
So if I'm going to date a guy on a first date, I'm always going to be checking about his socks. Because what does that tell me? And I'd like to think that he's hoping for a girl who's not just boring and playing on the underneath.
But you have the advantage because...
I get to see yours. You just have to wait because she's sexy with her savvy.
Okay. So we're going to move on from that one then. I got it.
No more blushing.
I'll keep wearing the socks. The online 10-3-1 rule.
All right, so everyone's swiping. Everyone's getting carpal tunnel in their fingers.
Yeah.
There's multiple avenues for swiping nowadays. I do recommend a few different ones. But so the truth of the matter is it's a numbers game. It is absolutely numbers. Everybody's out swiping everybody else. So it's the 10-3-1. You swipe on 10, you talk to 3, you go on a date with 1. So at the end of the day, the more you swipe, the higher likelihood you have of getting that sale, of making that match, of actually meeting somebody in person.
Numbers game.
Yep.
The 3-3-3 timeline.
Here's another
We're
rule
all
that I
about
love
numbers
to use.
here. Yeah, you got lots of rules.
And I think it's just, it helps you because you need to have strategy.
Yeah.
You know, it's like going into a kitchen to cook. Yeah. Well, you just go in and cook, but the more you learn how to cook, the better tools and equipment you have, the more you study on how to cook, the better your meal will be. So dating is the same thing. I can just go out and date and be clueless about it, or I can be smart about it and strategize. This is a different dating game. So when you take advice from your mom, be leery. She did not date how we date. And it's, even when we were single before marriage, it was not the same way. So the 3-3-3 rule has something to do with about when you start to build a relationship. Now, I'm a dating coach. I'm not a relationship expert. I always do make sure people understand that. But in that process of dating, when do you define things and when do you, ask for it to be mutually defined as well? So I believe give a guy 3 dates, give a girl 3 dates. If on the first date you enjoyed that person but you weren't totally sure, go for another date. I always say give a person 3 dates, not give everybody, but if someone you're interested in, give them 3 dates. By the 3rd date, ask yourself, is this somebody I really want to start to invest in? I think it's mutually respectful. You're respecting your time and your opportunities to go forward and meet somebody else and theirs. And if we all just date it like adults, I think that would be a proper thing that we could do. After the 3 dates, go for 3 weeks. And within that 3-week time frame, you should be doing more things like hanging out. So riding bikes together, maybe you do go to somebody's house, or you're doing a little bit more fun, chill things rather than just dates. And getting to know them and their family more, learning and processing more about their daily life versus the first 3 dates, which are all protocol and fancy and maybe a hike here or there. But this is going to be a little bit time to divulge a little bit more about them. At that point, again, ask yourself, do I still want to keep dating this person? Then when you get to the 3-month mark, really assess the situation and decide. And if somebody's not having that conversation with you, then bring it up. Because we're all adults. And we should be able to say, hey, what are your intentions in this? You know, and that's a hard conversation, but I think it's
Very hard.
important to have a great, communication with that person and a great relationship.
So we're talking about things, you're talking swipes, we're talking online. I mean, I'm a boomer.
Right.
And so many people in my generation aren't as savvy. They aren't online as much. Are there tremendous differences between someone who's older in the dating game versus, you know, millennials versus Gen Xers? Or do you find that these rules apply overall? We have 2 minutes. I want you to answer that one quickly, and then I'm going to ask you one final question.
I think the biggest fear in the boomers is their age range.
Right.
I'm this age, so I'm going to lie about it. Never lie about your age is my one target for you. And for the younger ones, I mean, that's a whole epidemic in itself, sadly. The whole disposable dating, moving on, no focus. But for us who are serious about getting back into a relationship, don't lie about your age. Don't lie about anything, actually, on your profiles.
Yeah, it ultimately all comes out.
It'll bite you in the butt.
Right. So we've covered so much ground in so little time. Closing thoughts for you on this whole, because it's serious. It's a partner for life, ideally.
Right.
What would be your elevator pitch to someone just about being secure in themselves and going about dating?
Well, I always tell people you attract what you are, so go be awesome. Like, go make your life how you want it, and you will attract that right person in. Go be busy volunteering. Go be busy with your kids in their sports. And you know what? Say hi to people. Like, go ahead and make a first move. I'm not saying be rawr about it, but just say hi, meet people, and always stay gray. Do not be black and white about your dating life, because dating is a very small circle. So we never want to burn a bridge, and everybody that you meet is a quality person, and every lid has a pot. Every pot has a lid. So keep that in mind and just make sure that you're keeping friendships alive through it.
Great. So much information. Thank you for being with us. We are going to have to end this show. And remember, you attract what you are. Go be awesome, as Katy would say. I'd like to thank Katy Clark for joining us on today's show. Be sure to follow PadNet TV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest updates. We also welcome your comments and thoughts regarding this show as we strive to make Long Beach Flens a favorite source of local news, information, and entertainment. This show has been brought to you with support from the Long Beach Community Action Partnership. Thank you for watching Long Beach Flens, and thank you, Katy.
Thank you, Derek Patton.